So I wasn't alive earlier today, shout out twin, but we started having a whole discussion about how I thought Garling was trash, right? When I say trash, I don't mean in the sense that he's a very weak character. I mean in the sense that he can't fuck with the high tiers like that. Let's face it, his only good feats is speed blitzing civilians and murdering and deceiving his wife. 5v1 rocks with a bunch of demons and still lost. He can be a distraction, cool, but I don't think he's on their level. And a reason why I say this is because when you have characters like Rox, Garp, and Roger, you would think that they're in the same realm of tiering with Rox being at number 1, right? So if Garp were to fight Roger and Roger were to fight Garp, neither of them would come out of that fight unscathed because they are rivals. They're equal to one another. But Rox is Roger's strongest and most notorious rival next to Whitebeard. So you can say all of these characters, Whitebeard, Roger, Garp, and Rox are all in the same tiering, with Rox being at number 1, Garp and Roger being interchangeable, and I would say Whitebeard is relative to Rox in terms of strength. And it's not that I think Garling is weak, I just think that these characters are just too strong for him to handle. And that goes for every God's Knight. I don't think the God's Knights are on this level. They're not Admiral level. They're not above the Admirals. They're carried by regeneration. Garling should be dead. Sommers should be dead. Mafi should be dead. But because they can regen, they can come back from these attacks they can't react to. They're not the Gorosei. The Gorosei inherently let attacks hit them. The God's Knights don't have that leverage. They completely get blitzed or just outright overpowered like Rox did to Garling. And I get it, it's Rox, top 2 in a verse. But you're not gonna sit here and tell me that Roger and Garp won't do the same thing to Garling that Rox did. I just don't see how that isn't possible. Now, current Garling is a different story. Gorosei Garling is a different story. But the Garling in Godvalley, nah, he's no match for these three. Garling in Godvalley is like the Topiropo in Wano, or maybe like one of the 3 calamities. And Rox, Garp, and Roger are Luffy, Law, and Kid, with Kaido and Whitebeard being Rox's Zoro and Sanji. Except this is where Kaido gets his shine. Except unlike Sanji, who wasn't on rooftop, Kaido is actually in the main fight. And this is where the difference between the parallels come in, is because this is where Kaido experiences one of his very first defeats. This is where he comes to the realization that that devil fruit he gained didn't mean shit without Haki. Without the Haki of the gods, Kaido cannot be a factor in this fight inherently. Not like Rox and Whitebeard. The only reason why he's here with these two is because he got this dragon form that he thought was going to make him so much significantly more powerful and on the level of these two, which Imu is going to extremely